Welcome to Progressive Spanish Learning. Progressive learning is based on a simple idea. Over time, you spend more of your study time on the words you have not yet mastered and less time on the words you already know. This makes learning more efficient and gives you complete control over your personal learning experience. Vocabulary is one of the most important foundations of language learning. Building a strong vocabulary has significantly improved my own Spanish listening and reading comprehension, and it can help make every other aspect of learning easier. Sign up now for a 30-day free trial. Here is the Progressive Spanish Learning web address. It will ask you for your email address. You can create a separate valid email address for this purpose if you don't want to use your normal personal email. Click the Send Email Verification Message button. You will receive this email notification after a few seconds. If you are not seeing it yet, refresh your email. This is the email message. Click the Sign In button. This will sign you into the site. You will stay signed in unless you log out. You will see this. Click OK to start your free trial. The home page is displayed. Note that the web pages on this site are designed to be narrow enough to display and function well on a smartphone. Click here to view the tutorial video. Click on Your Profile. Set your preferred name and click the plus/minus signs to select the max daily test words. Click Save. Click on Today's Tests. The first time you view the tests each day, they will take about 40 seconds to build. After that, they will load much faster. The list of tests for today will be displayed. At the end of your 30-day free trial, you will have the option of subscribing. Click on Subscribe. This will take you to Stripe, a popular and trusted paywall. Complete the payment information. After you subscribe, you will be sent to the PSL homepage. To cancel the subscription, choose the Manage Subscription menu option. You will be taken to the Stripe paywall again, where you are given an option to cancel. The subscription will be canceled when the month of the active subscription expires. We are looking at the test for the word casa. A test shows the word, the rank which is tied to frequency of use, the number of saved trials, the days since the last test, and the uses of this word. It also indicates whether a test from today's test has been completed. One example of multiple uses is a word that can be either an adverb or an adjective. Another example is a word that represents several different conjugations of a verb. The word casa has three uses. Use number one is as a noun meaning house or home. Use number two is as an indicative conjugation of the verb casar, which means to marry or to wed. Use number three is as an imperative conjugation of the verb casar. All these uses have an example sentence and an interpretation of that sentence if the Show button is pressed. Note that the assigned rank encompasses all of the uses of this word, but I believe we can safely assume that the home meaning contributes most to the frequency. Be aware that some of the words can have dozens of meanings and contexts. The meanings given in this system should be the most common ones. The noun use includes the type, the meaning, the number, and the gender. The conjugation uses include the base verb, the type, the meaning, the mood, the tense, the person, and the number. The words in the parentheses of the meaning lines give the word usage context. The meaning context of these two conjugations specify the formal and familiar you. This slide explains the Spanish conjugation terminology. I won't walk through this, but you can pause the video if you want to study it. I've also included it in the video description text for easier reference. In your test response, you can leave the average days as is, or you can hit the plus and minus buttons. Every time you press the plus button, you will see the test half as often on average. Every time you hit the minus button, you will see this test twice as often. It may be longer than that because words compete to be on the daily test. Note that there is a plus or minus 10% random jitter to make the tests a little bit less predictable. Specifically, you don't want the same words appearing consistently together because they can provide false clues to each other on the list. In this chapter, I'll share a couple of learning tips I've picked up while using the tool. We are looking at the tests for the word mucho. Most English speakers probably understand the word mucho to mean a lot, which is the essence or gist of the word, so the mental concept of mucho is independent of the words, whether they be in English or Spanish. My advice is to focus more on understanding the essence of the word rather than the specific English word or phrase interpretations, which sometimes may feel harder to remember and overly pedantic. Also, the English translations of a word are often synonyms of each other. If you are reading or listening to Spanish, translating to English first and then to the concept will slow you down. Ideally, you will mentally go straight to the concept from either language. If I am having trouble remembering the English interpretation of a word, I repeat the English word or words to myself about half a dozen times, while at the same time trying to keep the concept of the word in my mind. This works surprisingly well for me. You may find that some words are very difficult to remember and you are seeing them so frequently that you feel they are impeding your progress in expanding your overall vocabulary. You have the option of parking a word at, for example, approximately weekly or monthly exposure so that you can remove the roadblock but still get some exposure to the test. In other words, my system gives you control over your exposure to individual tests. My word list comes from the first 10,000 of a 50,000 word list of Spanish words taken from TV and movie scripts. It lists the words in descending frequency, giving the number of occurrences found of each word. Here is the beginning of the list. The rank numbers that I assign to these words match the numbers on the left of this list. Because of the source of the words, parts of the list are a little messy. There are a lot of English words in the movie and TV scripts, and you will probably want to demote these to a maximum of 1,000 days between tests, about 2 3/4 years. There are also many misspellings. Mostly due to missing accents from what I assume are due to lazy transcripting. For example, America should be America. If you encounter these, you can either test that you recognize the misspelling, or you can demote the test to 1,000 days between tests. Both the English words and the misspellings have relatively high ranks, so you won't encounter them very often. There are some combination words, such as dígame, which means tell me or say to me. As you can see on the test, the me part of the word is called eclectic. Now I'm going to search for the conjugations of the word ser, which means to be. Note that the word estar also means to be, with a slightly different context. I admit that this looks overwhelming at first glance, but with my system we have the luxury of learning these conjugations of ser one at a time and in the order of commonality of use. I was surprised to find so many interpretations of the English word you. These interpretations have different contexts, such as indirect object. The example sentences should help you better understand these contexts. I'm going to reset the search filters and search for the word you. Then I select pronoun as the part of speech. And eliminate the contigo with you. Eventually you will encounter the word vos at rank 1376. The word vos replaces the word tu in the regional variation of you called voceo. Voceo is primarily associated with the Rio Platense region, especially Argentina and Uruguay. Here is a list with the voceo-specific conjugations that are in our list of 10,000. Thanks for joining us on our Spanish learning journey. I wish you happy trails and good luck.